Good blessings, my brothers and sisters in this truth. All praises to the Most High, through our Savior's name. Let's get our sword out the mud. We got Utah's free-range parenting law is now officially in effect. Just setting the stage for NAMBLA, man. NAMBLA alert. Pedophile alert, man. Hit the alarms. And setting the stage, man. Slowly turning the temperature up. We're in that pot, man. Temperature's rising. But yeah, man, brothers and sisters, they want to reward the parent for not being a parent. Taking away the child neglect. You send your little child off to the park by himself, him or her. There's predators out here, man, sharks. Your child is prey. They just come through, manipulate, hiding around a little corner, behind a little fire hydrant with some cookies and some ice cream, pizza, some candy. And your child, innocent, taking advantage of your child's innocence. Let's see what they talking about.
GMA cover story, Utah becoming the first state to legalize free-range parenting that gives parents the freedom to let their kids do unsupervised activities as a way to encourage independence. The bill already facing backlash, with some critics saying it could put children's safety at risk.
Okay.
It's the controversial parenting method designed to let kids be kids, just with a little less parental supervision. And now one state is standing by the concept of free-range parenting. The governor of Utah signing a bill into law Friday that gives parents the freedom to allow their children to do more activities independently without being penalized for child neglect, like walking to school, playing outside, and staying home alone.
We want kids to be able to learn how to navigate the world so that when they're adults, they're fully prepared to handle things on their own.
Man, you got to put some bass in your voice, partner. That just makes me uneasy, man. How you talk. Come on, man.
The bill, which passed unanimously, is the first of its kind in the U.S. and permits a child whose basic needs are met and who is of sufficient age and maturity to avoid harm to engage in those independent activities.
The way you get brave and self-sufficient and problem-solving is by doing some things on your own.
Lenore Skenazy first coined the phrase free-range parenting back in 2008 after she wrote an article about why she let her then 9-year-old son ride the subway alone. Since then,
we have to let parents be rational and loving and trust their kids and give them the independence that we all cherish.
Besides fear for their child's safety, some parents worry they might face legal ramifications if they give their children some independence. In 2015, the Maitiv family of Silver Spring, Maryland made headlines when authorities accused them of child neglect after they allowed their 2 children, ages 6 and 10, to play and walk home from a local park unsupervised.
Our rights were violated. The Constitution very clearly protects parents' rights to raise their kids the way they see fit.
Those charges were ultimately dropped, and the Maitivs say they still consider themselves free-range parents. We're joined now by Dr. Dave Anderson, clinical psychologist at the Child Mind Institute, and we were just talking because I struggle with this. I have a 12-year-old, and she has a bus stop 4 blocks from the house. I make sure she's walked to the bus stop to wait, but then when she comes home, since she's just on a mission to go home, I let her walk back by herself. But I think, is that bad? Is that a bad parent move?
Well, that's the thing. Free-range parenting is, on the extreme kind of progressive end of parenting philosophies. It's not necessarily science. And we take everything on a case-by-case basis.
At what age is it okay to do X, Y, and Z?
Right. And parents want their kids to be independent, want to give opportunities to explore, but for any parent, that's going to be a personal decision. If your 12-year-old is capable of walking home from the bus stop by themselves, that's something that you might make a decision about, where another 12-year-old may be a little bit too impulsive,
Right.
or may end up doing a little bit of shopping on the way home where you don't exactly know where they are.
Right, and so at least in the state of Utah, the police or the officials can't get involved when you as a parent get to make that decision.
Right, and it's kind of a reaction, in comparison to, say, states like Maryland, where kids under 14 may not be able to be out unsupervised. So when you talk about self-reliance or independence, it's about a parent practicing with their kid how they might be independent in particular
Yeah,
situations.
you have to talk about what could happen. I mean, I'm just letting her take the dog to the dog park in
Right.
Union Square. I was worried, actually thinking, is that okay? Is that allowed? Is that legal? I'm not sure. What are the potential risks about letting your children have perhaps too much freedom?
I mean, the risk is something that anybody might know from common sense. It's just that kids might get into things impulsively that, parents weren't anticipating. So it's something where we want to know the situation well, we want to be clear with the guidelines that'll keep our kids safe, and then we want to practice. The old phrase that we use is kind of the I do, we do, you do model. A parent models for their kid how they might be safe and follow rules. Then, as you provide scaffolding for your kid, you let them become a little bit more independent.
I like that. Any recommendations for parents who want to try and because I'm all about kids being independent,
Yeah.
but we all as parents want our kids to be safe.
Right.
That's the number one goal as a parent, to
Absolutely.
make sure you do no harm. But what are some tips for parents who are thinking about maybe easing into this type of parenting style?
It would be to start with well-worn paths, parts of the community that are really well known to a family.
It's easy to start with praising the Most High, obeying the Most High, having faith in the Most High. Don't go to no man over your salvation, over your instruction, over your household. You go to the Creator. Don't have the world raising your child. Have your child dependent of the Most High. Independent of the world, dependent of the Most High. Is how you live and how it mirrors on to your child.
Where a kid knows the rules, they might know other people in that particular area, and where you can, practice a little bit beforehand. So you go to the playground together a few times, you practice the walk home while the parent's trailing a child, and then maybe you let them walk home from the bus stop by themselves.
Great tips, Dr. Dave Anderson. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
But
Sanctuary cities protect.
yeah, brothers and sisters, man, they setting the stage for that NAMBLA, man, so they could have your child down there at the park by herself, him or her playing, being innocent, and them evil spirit lurking in the midst. It's real. They setting that stage of rewarding the parent. They're rewarding the parent for not parenting. They're saying it's okay. Go ahead. Go do your carnal thing, your fleshly things that you need to do as a parent while your child is running off down the street at the park. That's what they're promoting. When your child is not old enough. No, your child is a dependent of you. That is, your responsibility is provide protection. That is your responsibility, is to provide protection. By all means necessary. It's like, would you go leave your personal belongings? Would you free range your personal belongings? Would you go throw your wallet, your keys, your money, all your information? Would you just go throw it in, go free range that? But you mean telling me to free range my most prized possession, besides my salvation, my soul, for serving the Most High, is my my family, and just free range the children? But I won't free range Materialistic things. So what do I value more? My materialistic things over my family, over my children, my offspring. Obeying your thirst of the flesh. Rewarding you for it. It's okay to do it. The beast system. Obeying your thirst for the flesh, not for the spirit, but for the flesh, which is destruction, death. You know, this beast system, it's like, you know, it's like, you know, bloodsuckers. They just vampires that just suck the life out of you. You know, they walk up, day walkers, you know, they just walk, you know, it's symbolic, like that movie Blade, it's symbolic, man. Brothers and sisters, we, you know, day walkers, man. Come through in a form of, you know, a good thing. You know, that's the cover. Come to transform into an angel of light. The Deceptors, the Decepticons, them Transformers. Like I said, symbolic of that movie Blade, how Blade was half vampire, half human. He was a day walker, but he was still a vampire. But he could do both. But see, it's symbolic in the fact that he was walking in the light, right? But his bloodline was symbolic. You see, the bloodline was mixed up. You see, the bloodline got mixed, so he wasn't pure. Let me get back to it. So he wasn't pure, brothers and sisters. So they put it right in our face, man. They just sucking the life out of us, man. You know, and they transform into an angel of light, like they doing good, you know, but they really vampires, man. But they walking in light, you know, but they mask around like they protecting you and giving you truth, but really they preying on you, leading you to destruction, telling you it's okay to let your guard down, you know. My wife said, she was like, free, what is it? Free range chicken? I'm like, you crazy. I'm like, but you know, that's symbolic. That's symbolic. You know, my wife said, she was like, what free range chickens? I'm like, that's crazy. I'm like, but that's symbolic. Because, you know, your children of the prey, they're like chicken. And you see they got chicken hawks, you know, which is adult predators. You see how that's symbolic, man? Free range chicken, see how that connect? It's deceitful out here, man. It's deceitful out here, man. Gotta sharpen up and lean on the Most High. Give it all to the Most High. You know, because this beast system just promotes more of that obey your thirst of the flesh. My brothers and sisters, stay sharp. Stay sharp. Gotta lean on the Most High 24/7, 365. Wake up. That should be food. That should be your water, praising the Most High first. When you go to sleep, praise the Most High through our Savior. Protect your children. Watch your children. You know, Namble Alert, setting the stage, man. Let these vampires suck the daywalkers, you know, suck the life out of you. Y'all stay prayerful and keep your lamps filled with light.